Hey everybody, it is Brita for The Happier Attorney, the channel where we talk about flat fees and mindset and how all of the things that will make you a happier attorney. So today I'm going to tell you about a recent initial consultation, just to give you a story and to show you how I came up with a price for this potential client and what the initial assessment, what she got out of it and what happened, to give you a little actual example. So when I got her questionnaire in, it was evident to me that this was going to be an issue. Okay, this was going to be not maybe a wholly blank case, but narcissist on the other side, high conflict, two very small children. The narrative that the potential client gave me showed me that she was fairly reasonable, and she had a pretty good idea of that there was a narcissist on the other side. So right off the bat, and I have her financials, some money, but not money to just write a big huge check. That can't come into your head. What they can afford cannot come into your head as far as what you should price it. I'll get to that in a minute. But I knew, because I've been doing this for a long ass time, I knew that the price was going to be a big one. And in my head, it was like, I cannot, given what I know is on the other side and how I know these cases go, I can't price this for under 40 grand. Can't do it. Won't do it. Because I know exactly what would happen. So, and that's a big number. Now, in the big scheme of life, is it, a new roof costs 22 grand. You look at a decent car and you're looking at 50 grand. So, the worst of the worst in a custody case, is it that much? Probably not in the big scheme of things. But I understand, asking somebody to come up with $40,000 is a big deal. Okay. So she came in. She was early, dressed appropriately, very responsive, she's smart, she was taking responsibility, which is a big thing with me. She got what was on the other side. There weren't red flags with her, and I was like, oh, I'd love to work with her. And she needs help. If things do not go well, she's in for 17 years of, oh my gosh. And so the purpose of the assessment is not to get the person to hire you. It is to serve the living crap out of them. And if they hire you, it's a bonus. Oh, and by the way, what's more likely to get them to hire you? Serving the living crap out of them, or throwing, doing a here's the law vomit draft on them. Okay. So I served the crap out of her. We went through why I think what had happened procedurally, where she was at, what the court would likely do, what the court's not going to do, what the court's job is, which is very different from what a lot of people think it is. And most importantly, we worked very diligently on not only a legal strategy for her, but more importantly, with these facts, a behind-the-scenes strategy for her. Because she's not going to get where she wants to go legally. She's going to get it by outsmarting the narcissist. She's going to get it by taking away the narcissist's supply. And unfortunately, I had to be very clear with her and give her some really hard truths about you know, what could be done and what couldn't be done. And that she's going to have to do some things that are against her every instinct to do. Because if she doesn't do things properly, she's going to look like the person, the bad parent. She's going to look like the parent who is alienating the other parent. Worst place that she can be. So how she does things is critical. Her demeanor, critical. Her lack of engagement, critical. She can't be getting in the ring with him. Figuratively or literally. That alone, to give her roadmap of how her behavior has to be, and how her behavior will dictate how things go, that alone was invaluable to her. Invaluable to her. I'm her third attorney. I'm the only one who did that, by the way. Just so you know. And when we went through the price, she was shocked. And she did, what people try and do. Well, what if it's not as complicated? What if it's not so bad? And we went through, that's not what I see here. That's not what I smell here. But if it is, and it had nothing to do with my work, he just magically becomes a reasonable person, then, I'll talk about adjusting the fee. If it's because of something that I did, that's what I've earned. You're hiring me to get that result. If I get you that result, I've earned my fee. And I don't know that she is going to be able to come up with a fee. She says she can't. It is what it is. And it makes me sad because I know I could help her and I know she needs my help. What was also critical is that I wanted to make sure that she was crystal clear on her avenues going forward as far as representation and what the dangers were. Because if this is a case that she's literally better off representing herself, which I do not say that lightly, I hardly ever say that, but she's better off representing herself if she cannot get an attorney who is very experienced and who knows narcissism and who has the time to devote to this case. So we went through how if she can't hire me and she can't get that attorney who is like me, who knows what they're doing and who knows how to deal with a narcissist and has the time to deal with a narcissist, she'd literally be better off representing herself. Because if she goes and gets normal family law attorney, here's what's going to happen. She's going to get in for, $5-10 grand, and she's going to feel instant relief. Oh, okay, I've got an attorney. I'm okay. My kids are okay. I've spent all this money. And and I know what's going to happen. It's going to be gone like that, and then she's going to get a bill every month. At the end of the day, and I did the math, at the end of the day, she's going to be paying $45,000, $50,000, $60,000 for the work that needs to be done in this case. It's a high conflict case with a narcissist on the other side. That's their gig. She's going to pay that. She's just not going to know it. And the other attorney on the other side is not going to have the bandwidth that I have because they charge hourly. If she hires an hourly attorney, they're not going to have the bandwidth because they charge hourly, so they're not collecting everything, they're not tracking their time, they're not doing all of the things. Okay, so that means they have to take more clients and more clients. That means less time for her. That means that when something happens in this case, which it will do, it will happen, it has, it will again, and she needs a fast answer, she's not going to be able to get that. And she's already had that experience with attorneys. I didn't even talk to the attorney. I just talked to the paralegal. That's right. So I really wanted to make sure that she fully understood what the ramifications were for going cheaper. Where literally she'd be better off representing herself. She's pretty smart. And not that she would get the court sympathy, but they kind of do. And do it alone. Because then at least she wouldn't be going in the hole and getting in debt when the attorney isn't able to handle this particular level of expertise. And I don't say that lightly, but I've seen it time after time after time where you have a complex case like this where you're like, oh my gosh, that attorney just doesn't get it. That attorney doesn't get it. And when you have a case like this, the norm, you can't do the norm here. You have to do the opposite of the norm when you have a narcissist on the other side. So the attorney better know how to deal with that. So it's disappointing sometimes. We'll see if she hires me or not. I also offered where for a lower fee that I could advise her. I wouldn't enter a notice of appearance. I would not be her attorney. She could not say I was her attorney. She would be doing the work. She would be, I'm not coming into any hearings. But for a price, I could advise her. We'll see if she does that. The bottom line is, even if I had quoted 10, 15, it's still going to be a big chunk for her. It is what it is. And, it breaks your heart sometimes when you know they need your help, and I know I could really help her. But at the end of the day, if I had gone lower, even fairly soon, I'd regret it. Because I'm a human being, you're a human being. And I would know that money was earned and gone a long time ago. I mean, if we would have been a month into this and it would have been gone. 2 months into it and it would have been gone. And then I'm working, quote, for free. Because I know I underpriced. And I'm a human being, and then you start, okay, I'll do it because I have to, but I don't feel great about it. That's not fair. That's not fair to you, and that's not fair to your client. It's not. Charge a price that you know. I mean, you can look at the analytics, you can do other research, you can do, I have attorney clients who, try and show me spreadsheets and all their research. Ugh. You're overthinking, you're overcomplicating it. I'm not saying don't do that to have backup, to know that your price is reasonable. And okay, I'm not saying that. But the bottom line is charge the price that makes you want to do the work without hesitation, without resentment, where it's in between a little excited and a little scared. But you're excited to do this work. Where, say for instance, this case, where I'm looking, this case is going to take longer, so it's going to be about 9 months. And again, this is based on what I know, but I've been doing this for 27 years. I can smell a high conflict narcissist, okay? And if I'm wrong, fine, I can adjust. But I'm generally not wrong. What price, this was going to take about 9 months, so what is the price that makes me want to just go in and do what I need to do week after week, day after day, whether it's a boom, 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 we're in court a lot and we're doing a lot of discovery, or things are calm. What price at the end of the day makes me just want to do this case, everything that needs to be done, regardless of what needs to be done, for 9 months? Okay. That's your price. It's really that simple. Check your gut. Go through in your head how you're going to feel month 5 if you charge that. Let's say, the person's in front of you and you're feeling bad and they don't have the money, and so instead of saying 45,000, I had said 20. Okay? Then go forward in your head. How am I going to feel in month 7? Having been paid $20,000 to do all of this, to deal with that toxic mess on the other side, to deal with all the mind games, to be able to have to strategize and play chess all of the time. How am I going to feel about having earned only $20,000 and still have 2 months to go? I'm not going to feel good about that. So you know what? That price is way too low. Way too low. And as I was sitting there talking with her, and I had already said 45, I was sitting there talking to her and I'm like, even 45 is actually too low. And whether she can pay for it or not, that's not my issue. This is what it takes, especially in a case like that. Okay? It's an unusual case. It's on the upper echelon. Okay? And she has to know. She has to be clear. That was so important to me, that she be clear that even if she goes down the street, I know how these cases go. They are a bear. If somebody's charging even $400, $500 an hour, and I told her, look, if you go somebody hourly, if they are not charging $450, $500 an hour, you need to hightail it out of there. This is what this case demands. You need somebody who knows what they're doing. It was like 90 hours of work. A case like this, 90 hours is going to go very quickly, within a month or 2. Okay? So I know it can be uncomfortable. And I thought about her, in the evening. Well, it's not my issue. I didn't spill the milk. I really like her as a person. I didn't put her in this position, though. I didn't choose to have children with that person. She has to deal with the consequences of her choices, unfortunately. All I can do is what I can do. But if I undercharge, it's not fair to anybody. Because if I undercharge with her, that means I have to take on more clients. That means she gets less. Again, that's when, that emergency comes in. I can't deal with it, or else I'm shuffling other people, okay? It's not fair to anybody. I'm not doing her any favors by undercharging her, even though at first blush it might sound like, oh, I'm giving her a good deal. You're not. You're not. Because you're not going to be able to produce what this case demands. So that was the story of yesterday. Whether she hires me or not is completely irrelevant. I did right by her. I served the heck out of her. I was true to myself, true to the practice, true to her. And we'll see what she does. But don't undervalue yourself just because that person, is a sympathetic person, because you're really not going to be helping them if you undercut yourself. You will regret it, and you will not do right by them. It's just human nature. So I hope this has helped a little bit. Story time. If you want more information on flat fees, go to happierattorney.com, link below, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.